See, as you all know, my name is Arthur. Actually, most people call me Hardy, but Derek is very formal. And the main question I've got, I became homeless, and the question I got is, how did you become homeless? That's a good question, because I never thought it would happen to me. Let's go back. I don't know if any of you have read the novel, The Sun Also Rises, and there's this scene in that where one character asks the other, how did you go bankrupt? It says two ways, gradually, then suddenly. That's how I became homeless. I made bad mistakes for a long time. Going back to when I was in my 20s, an attitude in my 20s, first job, tell you, okay, you gotta buy health insurance. Well, me, health insurance? I'm so healthy, I'll never need health insurance. I mean, actually, I did get health insurance, but I still had that same attitude. And I compounded that with making small, bad financial decisions. Investments that went sour, not handling my money properly. And then one day, I really got sick. I was in a hospital for over a month. I actually, I didn't even know this because I missed it, told me I went into cardiac arrest. They had to get the paddles and bring me back. And I woke up over a week later, I had tubes running in and out of my mouth, wires and everything. I asked them, what happened? And they explained, I didn't explain what they talked about. I spent a lot of time in the hospital, a lot of time getting well, and a lot of time paying bills. And it drained me. And as a result, I lost my house. I heard somebody mentioning I lived in Mount Dora. I lost my house there. And I panicked. I mean, when I lost my house, I didn't think of anything. I just wanted to get away. I left all my furniture, all my clothes, because I had no place to put them. I just wanted to get away and go someplace else. I drove and I found a hotel and I stayed in a motel. And I had a little money left, so I stayed in the hotel. Eventually the money ran out. So for a while I lived in my car, sleeping in my car, find a place to shower and use the bathroom. Eventually I parked my car on private property. And I was cited for trespassing. And they towed my car away, never to be seen again, and I was put in jail. I was put in jail for being homeless. Of course, they don't call it homeless. It's trespassing, disorderly conduct. They can just make up the charge, because it's never going to go to trial. You get a public defender, because I couldn't afford a private attorney. His job is to get you out as soon as possible, which means they come and offer you a plea deal, you take it. You don't fight it, because that's just going to keep you longer in jail. And so this period of homelessness and jail time lasted from 2016 to 2020. In and out of jail, in and out of sleeping on benches in the woods, and having to go to shelters, sometimes get food. Sometimes I got food by shoplifting. It was a matter of survival. I'm not even sorry that I shoplifted. And I tell people, I didn't steal, that's a crime. I shoplifted, that's an art. And as this went by, I wanted to get help. I've told Derek this many times, I knew there are people out there that can help me. I just can't find them. I went to different places. Went to a place, I don't know if you've heard of it, Central Florida Behavioral Hospital. Has anybody heard of it? Anybody work there? Good. Like 7 o'clock in the morning. I got in and I told them my story. Very similar to the story I just told you. And they took my they always take your blood pressure first. My blood pressure was through the roof. The first thing they did is they sent me to Dr. Phillips Hospital because of high blood pressure. And they kept me there, they got my blood pressure down. And they put me in the ambulance and sent me back to Central Florida Behavioral Hospital. Now it's not now, it's in the afternoon and the shift has changed. So the people there don't know what I said in the morning. So I go through the whole story again. And for whatever reason, my story didn't impress them. They gave me a platter with a hamburger and a hot dog on it. Then they gave me 2 bus tickets.
Wow.
They gave me some directions. I don't remember what the directions was, and I never got there. I went back to sleeping on the ground. Like I said, this went on for 4 years, in and out of jail, sleeping in nooks and crevices in hotels. All in all, I had a terrible diet, which meant that I alternated between diarrhea and constipation. Somehow, I got used to it. We'll say, you get used to anything. And I was in a situation where I was comfortable. And then it went on to 2020, and I was in the hospital again. A nurse told me, you don't belong here. There are help you can get your own benefits. You don't have to live like this. And I found out later, and I believe I had this form of mental illness. I believe nothing good should ever happen to me. And I heard there's a lot of people like this. They don't think they're owed anything. Nobody should do anything for them. You just have to live their life the way it is. And in order to get help, I still had to find somebody who wanted to help me.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the first help I got was from a Osceola County deputy sheriff. He actually had me in the cuffs. He was ready to take me to jail. And he told me again, you don't belong here. I put you in contact with a guy he knew, and his name was Tom Rios. Will you go see him and get help from him? I said, yes, I will. Took the cuffs off me. He said, got on his cell phone. We called the guy, and we made an appointment to see each other. And I met Tom, and I told him the story. It's the same story I've been telling for 4 years, except now it's a little longer because I've been out on the street longer. But while it never made an impression before on anybody, it made an impression on him. He wanted to help me, but he said, yeah, I'm going to help you, but I'm not the guy to help you. So I'm going to put you in contact with Janine Rip. I don't know if you know her. She works for the Community Hope Center on 192 in Osceola. I made an appointment to see her. And I had to go there by Lynx bus. Somehow I found it. And I told her the story. I got quite good at telling this story. I told it so many times. And by this time, I had lost all my ID. I didn't have any ID. I didn't have a social security card. The first thing we got to do is we got to get you ID. And then you're entitled to social security. And I can put you in contact with a caseworker who'll go through the procedures to get you this. First thing we got to do is get you ID. And we did that. Going to the motor vehicle bureau, which was always fun. And I didn't get a driver's license. I got just a Florida ID. Now I could prove who I was. Still didn't have a social security. We made another appointment that I would go back to the Community Hope Center and I would meet a caseworker from Park Place Behavioral Hospital, another behavioral hospital. And her name was Iris Lugo. Any of you know her?
Of course.
Yeah, of course you know her. Otherwise I wouldn't know you. And she met me at the Community Hope Center and I started to tell her my story. But she knew, I know your problem. I know your problem, I can help you, I want to help you. One of the first people that says, I can understand your problem and I know what to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Second Chance Housing, an independent living facility that provides shared housing for military veterans and elderly adults. Our facility is designed to provide a safe and comfortable environment for those who have served our country and are in need of a second chance at life. We understand that transitioning to a new living situation can be difficult and overwhelming, which is why we offer a smooth transition. We offer shared living spaces as well as private rooms to ensure that our residents have the right balance of community and privacy. If you or you know someone that is in need of a second chance at life, please give us a call.